Apple Card is the credit card created by Apple. You earn 3% daily cash back up front when you use it to buy a new iPhone 15, AirPods, or any products at Apple. And you can automatically grow your daily cash at 4.15% annual percentage yield when you open a high-yield savings account. Apply for Apple Card in the Wallet app on iPhone. Apple Card subject to credit approval. Savings is available to Apple Card owners subject to eligibility. Savings accounts by Goldman Sachs Bank USA, member FDIC. Terms apply.
Max, the one to watch for the best in entertainment, now has live sports with the Bleacher Report sports add-on.
5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go.
Stream hundreds of select live games from MLB.
That's gonna go!
NBA, NHL, U.S. Soccer, and NCAA Men's March Madness.
We just see what we think we just saw!
And it's all included for a limited time with any Max subscription.
He got him!
After the promo period, add it for $9.99 a month. Base subscription required.
This wasn't a very fun game. I thought Verona did pretty well, to be honest with you. But here are the questions that I have for you. Is this just a loss of Osimhen? Is there something going on? Because the ball is it's just not really flowing as quickly and as beautifully as it once did. And is there a case going on where something's just jarred the midfield momentum that they always used to build so well?
I think Osimhen is going to make a big difference. I really do. I think at the beginning of the season, I hammered it a lot as a point. This club has depth. This club has different resources. It can attack you different ways. And I think that was all true then. And right now, kind of none of it matters. You need Osimhen back in there. Look, they rotated as well this weekend. Of all the clubs, they're the ones who could really afford to look at this game and say, we just actually don't care because they drew and they're 14 points clear. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. But I do think it's a bit bothersome when you've been as good as they have to have not scored in 3 out of the last 4 games. And clearly the difference when Osimhen came on and just does that out of nowhere, the half volley onto the crossbar, it's immediately a different animal. It doesn't matter if you play exactly the same game as you would against them. You now have a threat. You now have something that you're scared of that wasn't there before. It doesn't matter if Milan give up the same number of chances they did in the 2 games they played against them already. Some of those might go in now. That's a difference. And that's how football games get decided, right? So it's a huge difference. And I think it's sort of worth pointing out as well. The other difference is this whole scenario that's gone on with the fans, which is such an Italian story. It makes me want to tear my hair out a little bit, but it's one of these stories that fits in them only in Serie A category, I think sometimes. I'm sure that's not true. I'm sure that happens in other places too, but sometimes it feels like this. Aurelio De Laurentis, who took over the club in 2004, rescued them from bankruptcy, had them up to Serie A in 3 seasons. The last 13 seasons, Napoli have always been in Europe. So that's the longest streak of any Serie A club. Has nevertheless not been popular with some of the ultras for a long time. Part of that is because he is from Rome and not perceived as being attached enough to the environment. Part of that is because he did 6 years ago now, his company Filmaro also bought Bari. So there's been accusations of, are you really focused on Napoli? Because you've now owned 2 clubs. Part of it is decisions he's taken down the years that have sort of been ill-received by fans. Decisions like having a fan membership card that you need to sign up for before you can buy tickets to games. And more recently, things like security measures at the stadium to restrict instruments and flags and flares coming in. And then also ticket prices for the Champions League. So it's a long story. This sort of butting heads that's gone on between De Laurentis and the fans. It comes back to individual comments he said at different times. There's layers and layers to it, and it's not unanimous, right? Even among the ultras, you saw when they went on strike for the Milan game last time, there were ultras fighting amongst each other. There's not one united ultra front that speaks for everybody, but this is the bigger picture. Spalletti, after the first leg of the game against Milan, for anyone who missed this, basically said, we need the fans supporting us at the stadium. If the fans won't support us for a Champions League quarter-final, then I'm going to go. I'm not interested. I'm going to leave this bench right here. Kind of call out De Laurentis and everyone else to fix it. I'm not willing to have my team not supported at home in this game. And what you saw then happened last week was there was this photo taken with De Laurentis and the ultras basically saying, look, we're all friends now. And there was reports that basically there'd been some concessions made about the ticket buying rules and about things going to be allowed in stadiums. So some ground was given. But this was a crazy story because it wasn't just De Laurentis sort of called up someone and said, right, let's have a conversation. De Laurentis was put under police protection last week. This was sort of widely reported by the agencies in Italy, by ANSA and others. because they were worried about the threats he was getting from fans. And you had literally the interior minister involved in sort of brokering this peace deal between them. So like I said, this feels like a uniquely Italian story that you sort of have these layers of government getting involved in a dispute between fans and their owner. But the upshot is the fans are back. They were there for this game against Verona. It was noticeably louder. And I expect as a result, you'll get a big atmosphere for the game against Milan. Whether or not that will make a difference, time will tell.
Thank you for that, Nicky.
Sorry, I just felt like that needed to be synopsized for the people to know. And I'm sorry, it was quite long.
No, I think people need to know exactly what happened after that photo came out that said United, you know?
Hey gang, just wanted to let you know that you can now get a free 14-day trial of our Chronicles Tifosi Patreon membership.
Subscribe now for free for 14 days to get access to all of our full episodes, solo minisodes, bonus content, even behind the scene bonuses like our chats about football, and of course our chats about life in general. You can also get the entire back catalogue of Serie A Chronicles content.
So head over to serieachronicles.com/Patreon and subscribe to the Chronicles Tifosi membership for free.
Sports Social Podcast Network.